Hello, it is a dark and gloomy day out today, which means it is the perfect day to visit a bookshop, so that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. Today I'm filming episode 4 of Cover to Cover. This is a series where I go on the search to find the best independent bookshop in the UK. Today I'm heading to Lymington, which is a port town in Hampshire. I did actually visit Lymington at the start of the year. It was a really beautiful town. I went for a really lovely walk around this nature reserve, but I didn't know they had a bookshop, and I'm kind of glad I didn't, because it means that I get to visit it today for a Cover to Cover episode. This bookshop is called the Imaginarium. It's a very cute, cozy, small, family-run bookshop that specialises in sci-fi and fantasy, but it also has a load of other titles and genres and a selection of used books. It looks so magical, the photos. I'm so excited to visit. Of course, this series is sponsored by National Book Tokens. Thank you so much, National Book Tokens, for sponsoring Cover to Cover. National Book Token gift cards can be spent in bookshops across the UK and Ireland, from WH Smith to Waterstones, and they can be spent in hundreds of indies across the country as well, including the Imaginarium. I will be bringing with me my National Book Tokens e-gift card today. This is very easy to add to your phone wallet, so you can just have it with you and bring it with you to bookshops. So of course I'm going to be buying lots of books. I'm going to be asking for a recommendation from one of the booksellers and reading that book in this vlog. I have been reading a load of really good books at the moment. I've been really enjoying most of the books I'm reading. They're like 4 or 5 stars, so I feel like my bar now is very high because of how much I've been enjoying what I've been reading, so I'm very excited. I don't really have anything specifically that I want to go in with the mindset of buying today. I don't really have any specific books, or genres rather, that I want recommended. I'm just gonna let the bookseller know what I enjoy and see what I come out with. So let's head to Lymington and go to the Imaginarium. It had been on and off raining all day today, and when it is like that outside, all I want to do is spend time at a bookshop, so this is the perfect day to film an episode of Cover to Cover. This was such a lovely bookshop, really cute and cozy with all the fantasy vibes. I really love the colour choices. I think it made the atmosphere feel really friendly and welcoming with the darker colours. It just felt like such a nice place to spend time, and I did spend quite a lot of time here. There was also a Vampire Diaries music playlist playing, which fit the vibes perfectly. There was a seated area in the middle of the shop for browsing and potential purchases, and everything just felt really open and approachable. It was easy to move around the shelves and browse. There was a table in the middle with some new releases, which always draws me in, and the shelves were split into ages and genres with an actual horror section. I don't think enough bookshops split up their horror books, and I absolutely love to see this. The book selection was great. There was so much choice across multiple genres, but especially fantasy, where there was so much to pick from. And the Imaginarium doesn't just sell books, they also sell a range of other products, including beautifully designed special edition dust jackets from Lilac Library. And of course, the bookseller recommendations were spot on. You could feel the passion for books seeping through the walls. And Robin recommended me so many great books to pick from. I loved this bookshop so much. I'll be quiet now and let you enjoy the bookshop, but if you are anywhere near Lymington, and even if you aren't, make a trip, because Lymington's just a really lovely place to visit in general, but you have to visit the Imaginarium. It's such a lovely bookshop. I bought books. I got 3 books at the Imaginarium. Obviously, had a great time. There was so much selection. I was looking through so many books, but the reason I got 3 books is because one of them was quite a pricey, very pretty hardback. So let's have a look at what I got. Okay, the first book I got is The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. I have heard so many good things about this. Honestly, never picked it up before because I am not a big sci-fi reader. However, I have been assured that this has got more of like the story of the characters and their journey than it is about the sci-fi elements. So I'm gonna give it a go. I don't really know much about it, but the bookseller, Robin, was saying how amazing this was, and so many people have loved it. I know so many people have this as their favourite book, so I want to give it a go. So the blurb says, when Rosemary Harper joins the crew of the Wayfarer, she isn't expecting much. The Wayfarer, patched up ship that's seen better days, offers her everything she could possibly want: a small quiet spot to call home for a while, adventure in far off corners of the galaxy, and distance from her troubled past. But Rosemary gets more than she bargained for with the Wayfarer. The crew is a mismatch of species and personalities. From 666, the friendly reptilian pilot, to Kizzy and Jenks, the constantly sparring engineers who keep the ship running. Life on board is chaotic, but more or less peaceful, exactly what Rosemary wants, until the crew offered the job of a lifetime, the chance to build a hyperspace tunnel to a distant planet. They'll earn enough money to live comfortably for years if they survive the long trip through war-torn space without endangering any of the fragile alliances that keep the galaxy peaceful. But Rosemary isn't the only person on board with secrets to hide, and the crew will soon discover that space must be vast and spaceships are very small indeed. Honestly, the main reason I picked this book up is based on the recommendations. The plot for me is intriguing, but it doesn't look like I'm like, oh my god, that sounds like the best thing ever. But I know that so many people have loved this that I really want to give it a go, and I was reading a couple of pages whilst I was sat in the bookshop, and it did feel like quite an interesting read, and I liked the writing style, so I have finally picked up this book. You won't see me holding many space-based sci-fis, but this one apparently is the exception to the rule. I also picked up A Rabbit by Terry Miles. The tagline for this says, play the game, pay the price. I basically picked up a couple of books off the shelves, one of which being Ready Player One, and said, okay, I really like these kind of books when I was chatting to Robin, the bookseller, for a recommendation. Robin immediately plugged this off the shelves, and I immediately was like, yeah, that's the one. This is the one I'm going to be reading in this vlog. I love game-based, kind of slightly dystopian, slightly Black Mirror-y type of books. I really enjoyed The God Game by Danny Toby, and this has those kind of vibes. So it's an electrifying, compulsive read set in the world of a hit podcast. Rabbits is a mysterious alternative reality game so vast that it uses the entire world as its canvas. The rewards for winning are unclear, but could involve money, CIA recruitment, or even immortality, and rabbit-obsessed Kay has been trying to find a way into it for years. Then Alan Scarpio, reclusive billionaire and alleged rabbit winner, makes contact. Something's gone wrong with the game, and Kay needs to fix it before the next round starts, or the world will pay the price. 5 days later, Scarpio is declared missing. 2 weeks after that, the 11th round begins. Suddenly, the fate of the entire universe is at stake. I just think that sounds really exciting and definitely very intriguing. Nicholas Eames, who I really enjoyed Into the Wild. Hang on, Wait, she's saying she really enjoyed it and then is forgetting the name. Kings of the Wild. Into the Wild is something entirely different. Okay, I promise I did enjoy the book, but I just temporarily forgot his name. Nicholas Eames has said it's like Murakami meets Ready Player One, which is an interesting comparison, and bookseller Robin, was saying that the Murakami part, maybe take that with a pinch of salt, because it isn't so much that. But I did not enjoy Norwegian Wood by Murakami. Read it years ago for our Patreon book club pick. I don't think many of us enjoyed it, but it's an interesting comparison. A wild ride, impossible to put down. I just feel like this is going to be really intriguing and fast-paced and addictive, and I'm excited. The book that basically took all of my money is this. It's Cloud Atlas by David Mitchell. But oh my gosh, I think this is the anniversary edition, and it's so pretty. So, confession, haven't read this book yet. Already own it in paperback. So you might be thinking, well, why did you buy it in a hardback if you don't know you like it or not? Watched the film years and years and years ago. Very wary that the book and the film are like different vibes. Kind of forgotten most of the film, to be honest. However, I feel like I'm gonna really enjoy this. I just have the feeling that this is gonna be one that just hits for me. I can't really remember anything about the plot apart from 2 people kind of like meeting each other in different lives. Souls cross ages like clouds cross skies. A reluctant voyager crossing the Pacific Ocean in 1850, a disinherited composer conning his way into the home of a dying genius in interwar Belgium, a high-minded journalist in Governor Reagan's California, a vanity publisher fleeing his gangland creditors, the testament of a genetically modified binary server on death row, and Zachary, a young Pacific Islander witnessing the nightfall of science and civilization. The narrators of Cloud Atlas hear each other's echoes along the corridor of history, echoes that change destiny in ways great and small. It's a globe-encircling narrative reaching from the 19th century to a post-apocalyptic future. Cloud Atlas erases the boundaries of time, genre, language to offer an enthralling vision of humanity's will to power and where it will lead us. I read Cloud Cuckoo Land, which also has cloud in the title and is also about lots of different storylines and how they all kind of knit together, past, present, future, and I loved that. And I feel this has those kind of vibes to it. And obviously this is 20 years written now and is very much secured in, I think, a modern classic, probably. I feel like it's about time to read it, so I picked up a very beautiful copy of this. So these are the 3 books that I bought in the Imaginarium. Such a beautiful bookshop, so many good recommendations. It was such a lovely, cozy reading experience. Perfect place to spend any kind of day, but especially like a grey, gloomy day outside. You want to be in a cozy bookshop. I'm going to be reading Rabbits in this vlog, so I will give you my spoiler-free thoughts on this when I finish it. I finished Rabbits. This went harder than I expected it to, and I mean that in a good way. This was so much more than just the kind of Ready Player One game-esque experience. It was also quite sci-fi in the sense of like universe bending level stuff. I can't really go into details because I don't want to spoil it, but it was really quite clever, very intriguing. I really didn't have any clue where it was going to go. Sometimes I didn't have any clue what was happening, but in a good way. I had a really good time with this. I think I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5 stars. It was a really good recommendation from the Imaginarium. Obviously that was a fantastic bookshop. I feel like there's not much more I can say to you about this book because it's the kind of book where the blurb kind of gives you the idea of what it's about, but it just really isn't. Like, it says the entire universe is at stake. I mean, that really is, the entire universe is at stake. And that's the journey we're going on with our main character. It's got some really good characters in it, it's got some really interesting twists and turns, some really interesting developments, very big existential problems, and I found it really intriguing. And I think the base of it, the intrigue and the gaming side and the pop culture things within that and the way that it has those tie-ins is really well done, and I really enjoyed that side of it. I had a good time reading it. Thank you so much to the Imaginarium for recommending me this book. I had a great time. I had a great time visiting the bookshop. If you would like to check out the Imaginarium, I will leave all of their socials and everything you need linked down below, and there is also a link down below to National Book Tokens. Thank you so much, National Book Tokens, for sponsoring this video. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one.